now we see what are the data fetching patterns we have in Nest.js. So I am going to use dots for this tutorial, so you can also skip this tutorial and directly go to and read the dots also. So we have fetching data on server, so which is we already seen, so that is, and we have streaming, so which is also we already seen. We need to use suspense. Then we have parallel and sequencer data fetching, so which is a new one to us. So what is sequencer data fetching means? So see example. So in the page they are running a await, and this is sequencer 1, and after this they run a suspense, and inside they render a component, and in the component they again run a function, and which is a async function. Then so, and finally we get the list. So what we understand means, so first this function will run and it will wait for the function to complete, and after only we get our data. Then so that they are putting this in a suspense because it is waiting, so in that time we show the loading state, and after the playlist component will run, and it also have async function, so our return may be have some delay. So this is sequencer data fetching. So one after one the async function will run. So this is sequencer data fetching. So then the next one is parallel data fetching. So in the example they run the function one by one without await function, and finally they restore all the promises to the as an array and they destructure it. So this is parallel data fetching because they run the function one by one, we don't have await, so it will run one after one, and finally we use await and catch and restore our promise. So this is parallel data fetching. And what else we have means, we have preloading data. So preloading data, in this example they have a function and a component. So in the function they run a async function, but they used void before the function. So what this means, they give the reference string, so void operator returns undefined when evaluating a expression. So you can see, so in the output is undefined, and in the console the value is some directory, but they are using void, but void evaluates the expression, so it is one is a expression, so the output of output is undefined, and this function will execute and its value is this, and this function also will execute and the value is console or this function executed. But when trying to run this try or catch, this function is not defined because this we using void here, so it will become undefined. So this function is not means, then the catch block will execute. You can see in the run test function is not defined, but when we remove the void, now test function executed. So this is void used to read evaluates the expression. So in this area the void evaluates our function. So we preloaded the function like this, so the context is we preloaded. So and the component item will again await and run our function. So by doing this we fastly execute our async function, and finally in page they are importing the components, and first they running the preload function because it has our void. So now it is preloaded, now the get item is preloaded because we have void before it, and finally we invoke our, finally we use our item component, and it have the await get item, so it will fastly get our get item function. So this is preloading data. So they are also using catch and server only and preload pattern. So catch is we already seen, where we are not able to use fetch, we can use catch function from React. So the same is happening, they are preloading the get item by using void, and they are wrapping catch here. So the same happening. So this is another new thing to us, that is taintObjectReference and taintUniqueValue. So this is an experimental feature. So we need to available make available this by next config. So we need to use this object to make experimental feature available for taint, and we are importing it from React. And for experimenter underscore taintObjectReference, we need to pass the error message and the object. So this error message and object, when we pass this object to client side, then it will show an error. So you can see that under client component, so they are running the get user data, so which is this function, so and returning the data. So we pass the data to our taintObjectReference, so they are passing the data to client side, so this will pass an error. So the syntax is error message and the object we avoid to passing client component. So this is an object, and taintUniqueValue, so this will prevent any unique value that should not be passed to client side. So they are also passing user data dot phone number, so this is a unique value, this is also show an error. So for this syntax is the error message and the lifetime and the unique value. So what is lifetime means? Lifetime basically an object. So this object, so this value will depend on some object, so that object is the lifetime we need to pass. So until the data object is available, this data dot phone number will not going to the client component. So the lifetime should be an object. So the object should be, we get value here that should be passed as the lifetime. So for when we pass global this, then the value should be available until our application closes. So you can also refer this in the React documentation. So that's all about data fetching pattern.